Can you believe that you have a little one that is closer to 2 than they are 1 now? It's crazy. In this video, I am going to tell you all about 19-month milestones and activities you should be working on with your child based on the Ages and Stages Questionnaire, which is a research-based developmental milestone tracker. If you are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jenny. I am a certified teacher, doctoral student, and mom of 2 girls, Alice, who is 20 months old, and Mina, who is 3 months old. And in this video, I actually wanted to cover the different skills you should be working on with your 19-month-old child. These skills are based specifically on the Ages and Stages Questionnaire, which is a research-based milestone questionnaire used by multiple countries around the world, pediatric offices, state programs, and hospitals to measure growth or potential delays in development of infants and toddlers. The Ages and Stages Questionnaire is broken down into 5 key areas: communication, gross motor, fine motor, personal social, and problem solving. Within each of these areas, there's going to be a skill set that you're looking for. And I'm going to give you 2 or 3 different ideas in each section for different milestones you're looking for and ways that you can develop that. We're going to start with communication. You are looking for your toddler to be able to combine words. Now, when I say combine words, I mean combining thoughts. I don't mean combining bye-bye or night-night. Those are the same thought. You're looking for them to combine 2 different thoughts. So no more or more mama. It's showing those 2 different ideas of I want more and I'm telling you mama. Different ways to do that is I will model it with Alice nearly constantly. So if she tells me one word, I will encourage her to tell me a second word. So if she looks at me and says more, then I will ask her more what? More water? And usually she'll say yeah, and that's okay. If they just want to say yeah, that's completely fine, but you are modeling how they would hear that. So more water. And Alice has started to add words now and say things 2 different ideas at a time. So one example that you're going to see in just a second, she asks me for help. So she'll say help, and then she'll say mama, because she has the idea of asking for help, but also the idea of mama's the one that needs to give me the help. No, you do it. Help, mama. Okay. You can also do this with nouns. Add adjectives to them. If your baby can say ball and really likes to say ball, you can say big ball or small ball and show them the comparison of those 2. Make sure you're being really extra animated too. I find that tends to help. The second communication milestone that you're going to be looking for is your toddler being able to identify something in a book. For example, you're going to point to something and say, "What's this?" And they should be able to tell you what it is. It only has to be one picture on a page. And you can show them a page where you know they know something, but getting them to actually say, okay, brain, I realize that this is a cat, so I'm going to say cat because mama's pointing at a cat.
Yeah.
A banana, that's right. Alice, what is this?
Yeah.
Strawberries, it is a strawberry. They are good. Ideally, you'd want them to be able to identify more than one, but only one is the milestone that you need. When you point to it saying, what's this? And then being able to tell you what it is. The last communication skill you're gonna work on this month is following directions. I know it can be hard with a toddler, but the kind of directions that you're looking for them to be able to follow are things like close the door, find the pink ball, go get your shoes. So basically, you're looking for them to be able to complete directions that you're asking of them. Say, close the door, and if they don't understand, model it for them. Show them that you're closing the door, or hold their hand and help them close the door, and then say, good job, you closed the door. There's a lot of different ways that while you may feel a little silly saying it, it really does help them. So make sure you're modeling constantly what you're asking them to do and what you're looking for them to say too. The next section that you're going to be working on is those gross motor skills. And so for this month, the first one you're going to be working on is actually independently climbing stairs. This is referring specifically to going up alone. And it's okay if your little one crawls. My little one crawls up the stairs. She takes each one individually and crawls up each one, and you're going to see that. But as long as they're able to independently go up at least one stair, that's the gross motor milestone you're looking for. You can practice this at a park or anywhere that's safe for you to practice it. Your little one just has to be able to go up one stair. The other gross motor milestone that you are working on this month is running with rare falls. You're wanting to see them be able to run and not fall very often. This can be a bit challenging, especially if you are a nervous parent like me. I'm always worried about my daughter running and getting hurt, which is why we will practice running in the grass so that if she falls, it's a little bit softer of a landing. I also will set up fun things in the yard like flags to let her run to them and encourage her to actually practice those gross motor skills. So whatever it is that you need to do to encourage them to try out running, that's what I would do. So let's now talk about those fine motor skills you're going to be practicing. The first fine motor skill you're going to want to practice with your 19-month-old is actually turning or twisting knobs. So this one can be a little bit problematic if you teach your child how to open doors and now they're opening all the doors in the world. But it is a milestone. You want to see them using that twisting motion to be able to open doors or open lids. So you could hand them something with a twist lid on it and do that instead if you don't want them to make the connection of twist equals door open. We've already had to put locks on everything because this child just, she's a tinkerer. She figures things out. So give them something to twist or turn that has a payout, like the door opening, or if you give them, maybe you could give them 2 or 3 raisins in a twist top cup and they have to twist it off in order to get the raisins inside. So something to interest them in wanting them to figure out how to twist. The second fine motor skill you're going to work on with your little one is being able to stack more than 3 objects by themselves. You can do this with blocks, you can do this with stacking cups, whatever it is they feel like stacking, that's perfectly fine. Lately, Alice has been enjoying stacking those Duplo blocks and actually kind of fitting Duplo blocks into one another to stack up a tower. It's not perfect and it does tend to fall, but if she can do 3 or more by herself, that is what we're looking for developmentally. So let's talk now about problem solving. Your 19-month-old should be able to line up objects after you show them how. So one of the things that I do is I will set farm animals on the shelf for Alice and then take them down, and Alice will then set the farm animals herself on the shelf, all in a line. So whatever it is that your little one's into, if it's cars, they could set cars in a line, but you're looking for them to be able to set out objects into a line. Another problem-solving skill you're going to work on this month is hand your child markers upside down and see if they can figure out that they have to turn it over to make a mark on the page. So I would continuously do this until they realize, oh hey, the way you handed this to me is not going to work. I need to turn it over. So I do that with markers with Alice. I will hand her markers deliberately facing up so that she has to turn it upside down in order for it to write. And that is a problem-solving milestone that you're going to be looking for, and one that's kind of fun to practice because once they realize it, you can kind of see those wheels turning in their head and it's really exciting. The last section of the Ages and Stages Questionnaire is personal social, and there are 2 main skills that you're going to be working on this month with your 19-month-old. The first one is imaginative play with loveys or stuffed animals. You're going to want to look for them putting loveys to bed or feeding loveys or changing their diapers. So anything you can to encourage them to imagine them as a baby, put them down, put them to sleep. I know for me, I encourage Alice to put Minnie to bed. So I'll say, oh Alice, Minnie is tired, Minnie needs to go to bed. Alice will lay her down and they'll say, oh Alice, Minnie is cold, she needs a blanket. Alice will go get her a blanket, put a blanket on her, and usually pat her and say night night. So those kind of things are what you're encouraging, some small imaginative play to care for a stuffy or a lovey. The last personal social skill that you are going to work on this month is using a fork. Now this is one that Alice is not particularly great at. It's one that we're working on a lot, and that is just learning how to mostly get the food in their mouth using a fork. I know with my child, she is a glutton and she does not want to wait for the payoff of using a spoon or a fork very often. So we have to kind of help her with that. So if your little one is struggling with that too, I feel you. But maybe you have a very refined child and they are able to use a fork right away, but my child just wants to shovel all the food in her mouth with her hand. So practice using a fork whenever you can. Give them things that they really need a fork for, that they can get more food with using a fork. Maybe something slippery. I'll have to try that myself and see using a fork is easier with something slippery. So those are kind of all the skills that you're going to be working on this month. The Ages and Stages Questionnaire, the next milestone month is actually the end of 20 months. So 20 months and 30 days is the real questionnaire that you're going to be filling out. 19 months, I'm giving you some ideas of things that will prepare you for your child being ready to go at the end of 20 months. I hope this was helpful for you and you found some ideas on things you can work on with your toddler. I know for me, this has been very helpful to know what it is that I need to work on with her and also areas I can encourage her to do more. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. I do all sorts of parenting, new mom, and educational content, and I would love to have you along for the ride. I have an entire series on developmental milestones that I will put up here, and I encourage you, whether you have a toddler or an infant, to check it out. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time. Take care.